Mr. Clark?
What's going on? Where am I?
You're at Eastman General. Paramedics pulled you from the river last night. You almost drowned. Do you remember any of that?
Over the weekend, we shot this short film. It was a 3-page short film, and I just want to share some of the behind the scenes of it. I wanted to push through the door frame on the right side, but after thinking about it for a little bit, I was like, I should push in through the other side. So I moved the camera to the left side of the door frame, and I ended up doing this little focus pull reveal into the room. And I had to make sure I didn't tag too far over to the right of the room because I had a C stand with a Zion light hitting the ceiling, kind of just giving the ambiance in this room. Just over here, I had a Nova P300C and a Godox SL60 with a Fresnel aimed right at him. So a little bit of hard light and soft light mixed together. In front of the lens, I had a Tiffin 1/8 Pro Mist filter to kind of just soften it up. I didn't want there to be too much detail on the outside. So once we got our wide shot, I kind of just spent my time in medium close-ups and close-ups. She doesn't have a lot of exposure on her face. I'm actually not mad about it. It looks pretty good. Like that right there, I'm like, oh yeah, that looks nice. And you can see it's blooming down here from the Pro Mist. This is one of those moments where I got to use some split diopters. I keep calling them split diopters, but I bought these diopters from Vivitar off of B&H for like 30 bucks. I think this is the 85 mil, just a little closer, and just crispy goodness. I couldn't do it top down. I didn't have enough time and the equipment to do a top down setup, but I'm pretty happy with this shot. The tripod was right at the base of the bed and kind of just shooting as far as I could. And then right here, she was going to be the story's actual nurse. We wanted her to come in, and it was funny. Like I set this flag to put a little contrast on her, and on the first attempt of just panning over, I tagged it. Where is it? I'm like right there. You see it. So what I ended up telling myself is there's this photo, and the one of the frame guides on my monitor. Once it hits it, I need to stop. So you can see like as I'm panning over, I'm like, and then this is all in 16:9, but we're gonna deliver in this um, 235 or 239:1. So there's gonna be a little bit of positioning that we can redo here. Just something like that. And I think for a lights just bouncing off to the side of the frame over here, it was the Zion light bouncing off the wall and then coming back, and then that negative and whatever else was being pumped to the window. So you can kind of see it in her eyes, everything that's happening. There's the top light, the window light, and then bouncing off the wall. So originally we didn't have Kinder pouring this in there. I think it was just water in this bag, in this little pseudo IV bag. So I got the syringe that they're using, and I just sucked some of the water out, and I told her, just pour that back in there. I just think this looks so much more like dynamic when she comes over here and she starts pouring the fluid in there. And you can kind of see it. Like that looks so nice in my opinion. And then she says, oh, well, rip you, you're going to die. Anyway, CSTN going S-Log 3, S-Gamut 3 into DaVinci Wide Gamut. So we'll turn those on. White balance node, primarily because our dehancer is Kodak Vision 3 250D. And that one shifts the image in this really weird green tone. Anyway, there goes, and this is the DaVinci Wide Gamut Intermediate Rex 09 to Cineon log. So for this to work. Now to counteract all this green that I'm getting from from dehancer, I pump in some orange. So you can just see our white balance has shifted. I didn't adjust anything for exposure here, but my highlights, I did I did bring down my highlights. And I think I did something with shadows. Yeah, I did. I lifted my shadows a bit. My curves, I think it's, soft clip right here. And then this is a bleach bypass node that I've made and it should be set to a pretty low percentage. And it's just I honestly just look at it as like a contrast thing. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so it's this adjustment one, a log grade, some saturation manipulation, this layer mixture that's set to overlay, and that's it. Exit compound. Okay, so I just kind of like how it affects and targets the highlights and shadows. Kind of just feels like a little bit extra contrast. And then I can bring it up more and make it more intense, but I like it at the 0.2 area. Um, and then we've already talked about the HS or CST, but anyway, that's the node tree. For Graham, there was a little bit more highlights hitting him, so everything kind of stayed the same. But here in the highlights, it's really all we did there. And then I think also in the dehancer, I changed our black point a bit, so just I thought it made it look a little bit better. But even in our wide shot, it's pretty much the same. So yeah, I mean, kind of expands the image nicely. And if you really felt like it, you could add a little contrast there, but I don't like that. I like this. Anyway, that's it. I'll make another one of these for the next one we make, and I think that's that.